y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today and talk about some Holy Grail products that are not Holy Grail anymore and what they've been replaced with. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into this, but before I get started, I'm doing this in collaboration with JD. If you don't know JD, she does great makeup, skincare, hair. I love her hair tips and tutorials. She does a lot of natural products. So if you don't know JD, go over and check her out. You will love her. Tell her I said hi. And I'm just going to jump right into this. I've got makeup, some skin, and some hair. And we're going to talk about what's been replaced. And I'll start with makeup. I'll actually start with primers. My Holy Grail primers for well over a year were Becca's. The Becca, mostly the backlight, but I also loved the first light, and I still love these. But I don't tend to go for illuminating anymore as much as I go for perfecting. Make it better. I like to make my skin start better than it actually is. And my two favorites are drugstore, and that is the NYX Angel Veil and the Flower Skin Perfecting. These just make my face look better, and I love them. So my Becca backlights are not getting used. I will eventually use them, but again, I'm just really not going for luminous all over. And they're great primers. They're beautiful, but these have kind of replaced them. Okay, next, foundations. My Holy Grail. I would say I had two. I was using the Clinique Beyond Perfecting or the Dior Forever constantly. And recently, and this is relatively new, it's the Clinique Even Better Refresh. And this just perfects and wears like nothing I have ever used in my life. This literally makes me look like I have a filter on my face. I just think the technology is getting better and better. The powders are getting more blurring. The foundations, they're just trying to get closer and closer to a Snapchat filter, and they're getting close. I can wear this and I don't even want to put a filter on my face when I do an Insta story. It is just the best thing I have ever used. It's all I want to use. My only concern with this is hyaluronic acid dries me out, and this has hyaluronic acid in it. But I'm going to find a way to make it work. I am. It just blurs, perfects, lasts. It is greatness. Okay, next, for the longest time, the MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose was my Holy Grail color corrector. And this is not going to be news to you if you are not new to my channel, but the Age Rewind is almost a perfect dupe for it. It's just as good. It covers just as good. It brightens just as good. I love it. It's the Age Rewind and the brightening. And since I started using it, I have not even been tempted to buy the MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose. Okay, next, blushes. For years, my Holy Grail blushes were the L'Oreal's, and I still love these. But there are so many other good blushes. I could not even say that I have a Holy Grail. There's so many good blushes and blush formulations. My favorites now are the It Ombre, specifically the Je ne sais quoi. After this ran out, I was out of it for a year and just replaced it. This is just the perfect pink for my complexion. I love that. Very brightening. I love the Clinique Pops. I have the Berry Pop is what I'm using up. I use this daily and I love it. These last forever. I've been using this every single day since January, and I still have. It falls out, but I still have that much left. I will have this all year and use it every day. I love the Clinique Pops. I have another one on the way right now. I love the Melon Pop, the Berry Pop, the Pink Pop. I like a lot of pops. I love the Charlotte Tilbury's. Love the Cliniques. Love the It. The Milani's. I love the Milani's. So there's just a lot of good blushes. So yeah, I can't say I even have a Holy Grail blush anymore. Okay, next, the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening. And this is the one I'm using up right now. This is all I've been using for the better part of 4 months. But this is not my Holy Grail anymore. My Holy Grail is the Huda Beauty in Sugar Cookie. This brightens and blurs so well. And it's nice to brighten all the way through the center of my face. And I can't wait to use it again. When this is gone, this is what I'll be using and replacing. This is beautiful. For a setting powder, my Holy Grail used to be the Chanel Universal or the Coty Airspun. Those have both been knocked off by transparent powders. For setting, I like either the RCMA, it's just a clear powder, or the Derma Blend. I like both of these. These are pretty much the same product. The RCMA is a little more finely milled. The Derma Blend is a little bit chunkier, and these are both just white, transparent, clear powders. That is my favorite thing to set with. Okay, next, the Too Faced Peach Perfect. This was my favorite powder for blurring for probably a year. But it has been replaced by several other powders that I think blur just as well. And this was always a little bit dark for me. You can't see it anymore. I used it up. But for blurring, my favorite is the It by Pores. Every day. It's my last step. Hang on, I need some now. Yeah, for blurring, I just cannot beat the It by Pores. I love it. That knocked a lot of other stuff out. Okay, next, highlighters. My Holy Grail in the past have been these Lancome highlighters. I loved them. Sparkling Pesh was my favorite, and these are beautiful. But for a Holy Grail highlighter, and this is not even the one I'm using up, but my Holy Grail every day, if I just had to have one, would be this Essence Pure Nude in number 10, Be My Highlight. This is the most beautiful, smooth, soft highlighter I own, probably. And it just gives me a lit from within glow. Hold on, I'll put a little on for you. It just adds a beautiful, smooth highlight. So if I had to pick one, it would be this Essence Pure Nude and Be My Highlight. This is beautiful and just as soft as the Lancomes. It is lovely. Okay, next, the Lancome Dual Finish. A full cover powder that has been my Holy Grail since maybe the 90s, and I still love this. And I don't know yet if I'll replace it or not, because I have found some things that I like as well, or maybe even a little bit better. And one of those is the Maybelline Superstay. This gives the smoothest full cover touch-up. After the gym, if my makeup's worn off, I can put this on and I look like I've totally redone my makeup. And I also like 2 Max. I like the Mineralize and the Studio Fix, both. So I don't know that I will replace the Dual Finish. I definitely can't call it a Holy Grail anymore, which is shocking to me because this has been my go-to for the better part of 2 decades. And I've just found some stuff that I like just as much. Okay, next, the NYX Jumbo Stick in Milk. I use this to lighten my eyelid. And I loved this. This was my Holy Grail for well over a year. And it's pretty much been replaced by this L'Oreal True Match Concealer Stick because it's what I have on today. I don't have to go over this with any eyeshadow. It just looks like light eyeshadow. It brightens, it covers well, and I don't have to cover it up like I do the NYX Jumbo Stick in Milk. So this has definitely become my new Holy Grail eyelid lightener. Okay, next, mattifying primers. Forever. I loved this Makeup Forever Step 1 mattifying. Y'all, I think, and this is the one I'm using up because I just finished the NYX Shine Killer. I think I like the NYX Shine Killer better. This one has more of a silicone slip to it, which I like. And I think this may mattify better on me than this one does. This one has more of a silicone. I think this is empty. There's enough to be able to tell. It's just a clear primer with a silicone slip, and I think this really helps mattify me well through the day. This one is a little bit thicker. Well, it's a lot thicker. You can see it. And it has a slip to it, but not as much as the NYX. The one I replace will be the NYX Shine Killer. After I use this up, the NYX dethroned the Makeup Forever Step 1. Okay, next, an eyelid primer. The Smashbox is fantastic, and I loved this for about 2 years. It makes your eyeshadow go on really well and stay on really well. But so does the CoverGirl Lid Lock, and I like the application of this better as well. This one is a doe foot, So I just, put it on, blend it out, done. And this one makes my eyeshadow wear as well and as long as my Smashbox. So my CoverGirl definitely dethroned my Smashbox. Next, in the past, my Holy Grail lip glosses have been the Buxoms. I love the Buxom White Russian, I love the Buxom Samantha. Well, this has pretty much been replaced by MAC glosses. Every time I pick up a MAC gloss, I love it. I love these new ones from the Boom Boom Bloom collection. I love the lip gloss in Angel. My favorite right now is probably the Pinkaboo from the Boom Boom Bloom, and I love for the frill of it. This is kind of a more of a topper. I love the MAC lip glosses. I love every one of them I try. Okay, next brushes. My Holy Grail powder brush has been the MAC 150S, and my Holy Grail blush brush has been the MAC 135. This Real Techniques blush brush dethroned both of them. A lot of days, this is all I get out. I get this out and I put my powder on with it, then I put my blush on with it, then I put more powder on with it. This is all I would need. Honestly, if I was gonna have one brush, this has to be it. This probably also dethroned my e.l.f. Total Face. This is just, I love the shape of it. I love the density and softness of it. This does it all. So I could have one face brush and this would be it. I have two of them. I have a backup. I love this brush. Okay, next, Shiseido Cotton Squares. I loved my Shiseido Cotton Squares for probably 2 years. Those were my go-tos. And then one of you girls told me about the Swisspers, and I just like these better. They are firmer, and they're sewn around the edges so they don't collapse. And I just really like these. I like the Swisspers. I can get them at grocery pickup. So these definitely took the place of my Shiseido Cotton Squares. Okay, next I'm going to talk about a few hair products. I just have two. Forever, I loved the Herbal Essences Mousse. And then I loved the Got To Be. That was for a short time my Holy Grail. Now, absolutely, without a doubt, my Holy Grail mousse is the John Frieda Luxurious Volume. It gives me such good volume in my hair without making it look stiff. So this is my go-to. I threw everything else out, and this is all I use. I don't even want to mix this with anything else. I don't want to dilute it down. I love that. And then for a thickening spray, this Caviar, Alterna Caviar Anti-Aging. Y'all, this makes my hair huge. Sometimes too big. Like today, it's on the verge of too big. And all I have in it is the John Frieda Luxurious Volume Mousse and this. And what this knocked off was my Big Sexy Root Pump Plus, which makes it real stiff at the roots. This just leaves it real natural and soft, but big. And they both give just a soft fullness to the hair without making it too stiff. Really, really full. I love this. Okay, next I'm going to move on to a few skincare items. For probably 2 years, my Holy Grail cleanser and toner were the Obagis. And my Obagi cleanser was knocked off by my Burt's Bees Gentle Foaming Cleanser. I love this more than anything I've ever tried because it gets everything off and does not strip my skin at all. There's just no reason I would spend any more on a cleanser anymore. This is fabulous. And then for the toner, the Thayers toner in Rose Petal. This is perfect and even a little active. I don't know if that's the witch hazel. It leaves my face a little bit pink. It cleanses it nicely. It has a nice scent. And yeah, I love this. So I'm very happy that my Holy Grails are drugstore for cleanser and toner now. Okay, so those are all the Holy Grail products in my collection that have been replaced and what they've been replaced with. Y'all go over and check out JD, see what she's loving and what she's replaced. And that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.